60,000 voices in Riyadh fell into a deathly silence, then erupted into a roar that could be heard from space. The tribal chief has done it. He has climbed the mountain, he has survived the carnage of 30 men, and for the second time in his storied career, Roman Reigns is your Royal Rumble winner. But it wasn't the victory that broke the internet. It wasn't the spear that leveled Gunther in the final moments. It was what happened 48 hours later on Monday Night Raw, the choice that no one, and I mean no one, saw coming. Welcome back to Wrestling Apocalypse. Today, we are breaking down a night that will live in infamy. We are talking about the moment the hierarchy of WWE was dismantled by 5 words. Roman Reigns has officially bypassed the Undisputed title. He has bypassed his blood feud with Drew McIntyre. He has looked directly into the eyes of the man holding the World Heavyweight Championship and declared war. Roman Reigns vs. CM Punk. Wrestlemania 42. It is happening. To understand the magnitude of this, you have to look at the state of the ring at the end of the Royal Rumble. It was a war zone. We saw Brock Lesnar return like a freight train, only to be dismantled by a Cody Rhodes who looked possessed. We saw Gunther end the legendary career of AJ Styles in a match that left the entire arena in tears. By the time the clock hit 0 and Roman Reigns emerged as the final entrant, the ring was filled with the ghosts of the past and the titans of the future. The final sequence was pure, cinematic poetry. You had the ring general Gunther, fresh off retiring a legend, standing across from the original tribal chief. The strikes were deafening. Every chop from Gunther sounded like a gunshot, every Superman punch from Roman felt like a car crash. When Roman finally hit that massive spear and watched Gunther's feet hit the floor, the world assumed we were headed for a trilogy with Cody or a showdown with the new undisputed champion, Drew McIntyre. But then came Monday Night Raw in Philadelphia. The air in that building was thick. You could feel the history. This is the city where Roman was booed out of the building a decade ago after his first Rumble win. This is the city that lives and breathes the best in the world mantra. Roman walked out, no bloodline, no wise man, just a man and his legacy. He looked at the Wrestlemania sign, and the crowd started chanting for Cody. They started chanting for Drew. And then, that static hit. The cult of personality blared through the speakers, and for the first time in months, the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk stepped onto the stage. He didn't come out to celebrate, he came out to challenge the narrative. Punk stood in that ring, leaning against the turnbuckle with that smug, veteran grin, and he didn't say a word. He just held the World Heavyweight Championship high. Roman's reaction was chilling. He didn't get angry. He didn't scream. He leaned into the mic and said, "I could choose the easy path. I could go after Drew and take back the title I held for 1,300 days. I could finish the story with Cody once and for all. But I'm not looking for a title to make me great. I'm looking for the one thing you've spent 15 years pretending you have." The crowd was hanging on every syllable. Roman stepped closer, chest to chest with Punk, and whispered loud enough for the world to hear, "I'm picking you because I hate you. I've always hated you. And at WrestleMania, I'm not just taking that belt, I'm taking your soul." The explosion from the Philly crowd was unlike anything I've ever heard. This isn't just a wrestling match. This is a collision of 2 eras that were never supposed to meet like this. Think about the history here. In 2014, CM Punk walked out of this company, and a huge part of his frustration was the shielding of Roman Reigns. He famously said he was told to make Roman look strong. Well, 12 years later, Roman Reigns doesn't need anyone to make him look strong. He is the sun that the WWE galaxy orbits around. And Punk? Punk is the man who came back from the dead. He won that World Heavyweight title back in November in a heart-stopping match against GUSO, proving that despite the injuries, despite the age, he is still the most dangerous mind in the business. He has spent his reign defending the title against the likes of Finn Balor and Braun Breaker, turning back the clock every single night. But he has never faced this version of Roman Reigns. He's never faced the OTC. Backstage, the tension is reportedly through the roof. Our sources are saying that the original plan for WrestleMania 42 was a massive triple threat, but when Roman won the Rumble, he went straight to Triple H and demanded the singles match with Punk. He doesn't want distractions. He doesn't want interference. He wants to prove, on the biggest stage in Las Vegas, that the voice of the voiceless is nothing more than a whisper compared to the roar of the tribal chief. The stakes are almost too high to calculate. If Roman wins, he captures the one world title that has eluded him in this new era. He officially cleans out the locker room of every major threat from the past decade. But if Punk wins? If CM Punk defeats Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania? It is the ultimate vindication. It is the final "I told you so" from a man who has built a career on being the underdog, even when he's the champion. Imagine the atmosphere on night 2 in Las Vegas. The lights go down, the piano hits for Roman's grand entrance, and then the static breaks. The contrast couldn't be sharper. You have the calculated, cold dominance of the Bloodline's leader versus the chaotic, punk rock energy of the Chicago-made savior. We've seen Roman dismantle legends before. We saw him retire The Undertaker. We saw him smash Edge and Daniel Bryan. But CM Punk is a different kind of animal. Punk lives in the head of his opponents. He is going to spend the next 2 months picking apart Roman's family, picking apart the original tribal chief moniker, and reminding Roman that deep down, he's still that kid who needed a shield to survive. And Roman? Roman is going to use that. He's going to use every bit of the disrespect to fuel a level of violence we haven't seen in years. This is the match the fans have been fantasy booking for a decade. This is the what if finally becoming what is. As we march toward Las Vegas, the questions are endless. Does Paul Heyman stay in Roman's corner, or do his old ties to CM Punk create the ultimate betrayal? Does the rest of the Bloodline stay out of it, or will the MFT Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga try to make a statement? And what about the Vision, Seth Rollins? He's been lurking in the shadows since his injury. Does he have a role to play in the fate of his 2 greatest rivals? One thing is for certain, the landscape of professional wrestling changed the moment Roman pointed at CM Punk. The Royal Rumble gave us a winner, but Raw gave us a legendary rivalry. This is the apocalypse we've been waiting for. What do you think, guys? Is Roman Reigns making a mistake by letting his ego choose his opponent? Or is CM Punk about to find out that the tribal chief is the one hurdle he can never jump? This is the kind of story that only happens once in a lifetime, and we are here to witness it. If you are as hyped as we are for Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania 42, do us a huge favor, smash that like button and let us know your predictions in the comments. Who walks out of Vegas with the gold and the glory? If you haven't already, subscribe to Wrestling Apocalypse and hit that notification bell. The road to WrestleMania is officially underway, and we are going to be with you every single step of the way as the tribal chief and the best in the world prepare for the fight of their lives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next breakdown.